Hello, today we're going to be taking a look at my quad lock setup on my Low Rider ST. Those of you that watch the channel will know that I've literally just traded my Road Glide ST for the Low Rider ST. It's a different bike. This is not specifically a touring bike. This is more of a do everything bike. And what don't you get with this bike? Well, you don't get the big infotainment system. You don't get the big screen. I had the WIM module on there. I could get Apple CarPlay, could get everything I wanted. It was great. And you come to the Low Rider ST, and what do you get? You get this tiny little display screen. It kind of gives you all the information you need. You've got your speed, you've got the time, you've got revs, you've got fuel gauge, you've got trip meters. You've got all the basic stuff, but you don't get your sat nav, you don't get your music, you don't get any of those other nice bits and pieces. So when I decided to go for the Low Rider ST, I knew that I was going to put some kind of phone setup on the bike. I've had a look around. There are lots of different systems out there. They all are quite similar, to be honest. But the one that seemed to fit my needs the best was the quad lock system. Now, before we go any further, I will point out that I'm not sponsored by Quad Lock, but if there's anyone from Quad Lock out there that wants to give me a call, contact me through the messages. Now, one of the problems with these systems is there are lots of different parts, lots of different accessories you can buy, and you don't really know exactly what you're going to need when you start out. Hopefully, this is going to help you guys, because I've made all the mistakes already. And hopefully you can, if you've got a Low Rider ST, you can just go out, buy the bits you need, and get it done without too many mistakes. So I'll show you the setup I've got in a moment. Because it took me so long to get the right parts and get it how I wanted, I'm not going to be deconstructing it, but I will get some really good views of the different parts I've used, and I'll list out the different parts I've used if you're looking for this kind of setup. One of the main things for me was having the Road Glide ST, had the screen nice and central right in front of me, you know, like a proper dashboard. And that's the kind of thing that I wanted on the Low Rider. Now, a lot of the initial parts you can get from Quad Lock, they do handlebar grips. You can mount them in lots of different places. However, they were all kind of to the left or to the right, and not really what I was looking for. So I've used a combination of parts to get it dead central, sitting exactly where I want. So anyway, I've talked too much. Let's show you what we've got. So starting from the top mount of the phone, I've done the wireless charging head. I can just clip the phone on there and it keeps the phone fully charged while I'm riding. As you come around the side, you'll see that I've got the anti-vibration dock on there. I'm not sure how much that actually does, but it looks very well built. It's supposed to stop any damage occurring, especially to iPhones. Lots of little rubber mounts there. At the back of that, as I come round, you'll see I've put an extension arm that brings the unit central with the handlebars. Below the extension arm, I've got a spacer. Below, I've got an adjustable knuckle, and below that knuckle, I've got a spacer. Below that spacer, we've got another adjustable knuckle, and then as you can see, I've actually used a handlebar mount, but I've clipped that onto my riser. And you can see we've got the power cable coming up through there. Now, the reason we got that blue tape on there is the handlebar mount kit actually comes with lots of different rubber grommets to help you fit these onto various different size handlebars. However, when I've clipped it onto the riser, I'm not quite sure what the risers are on these, what diameter they are. I found the rubber grommets were either too big or too small. So I've put the nearest one on there, and I've literally just gone around there with some electrical tape. Unfortunately, when I did this, I could only find blue tape, but hey, so far as Johnny, it's blue and white. I don't think it looks too bad. Okay, so I hope that explained everything for you. As far as I'm concerned, it's pretty much a perfect setup for this bike. I love the way it looks. I love that it almost looks like it's meant to be there. And that's the overall effect I was looking for. When I'm riding, it's clear, it's in front of me. I can see my sat nav. I can play around with my music if need be. And my phone connects straight to my Bluetooth system on my helmet. Okay, so what are the downsides to using this kind of a system? Well, I like to have the phone laying in landscape view. Especially when I'm using the maps, the sat nav. It just makes it much easier for me to look at, and I just think it looks nicer on the bike. However, not all apps work in landscape view, so you just need to be aware of the apps that you want to use. For me, it's mainly Google Maps, my music, and they all work in landscape, so that's fine for me. But if you've got any apps on your phone that don't really work well in landscape, then maybe you want to mount it horizontally. Okay, from a cost point of view, I've not worked out the exact cost yet. I will put that up on the screen to give you an idea. The quad lock system, I used the Pro system as well. It's not a cheap system, but I went for the Pro system simply because it's really sturdy, it's really rugged, and it seems fit for purpose. I've looked at a few other systems and not quite as strong. The quad lock system has allowed me to get the phone exactly where I want it. Yes, it's not a cheap setup, but I wanted it to look right, I wanted it to feel good, and that's exactly what I've achieved. Okay, short and sweet today. Hope you found that useful. I know it's going to make the riding of my bike much better, and as per usual, hopefully you guys know what to do, and we'll see you next time on Sweet Rides.